What is good, guys? It's Ray J back with another video, and this I want to break down what's going on with Tesla stock as we have another bullish catalyst that has just come out. I'm also going to talk about how the charts are looking for SPY, also the QQQ, and a couple of other tickers. But let me first say that I'm not a financial planner, so take nothing I say as financial advice. And also, if you guys can, please check out the Moomoo link, which is down below and in the description. If you sign up for Moomoo, the link down below, and deposit $100 into the account, you are guaranteed 5 free stocks. Deposit $1,000, you're guaranteed up to 15 free stocks, and the offer ends very soon. Anyways, guys, looking at Tesla right now, we saw this thing see this bottom at 165 just on Friday. We saw this thing attempt to rebound a bit. Now, what's interesting is as we've come down, we did end up retesting 167.8 to a T, the level we had called out right here. And it kind of popped and dropped this morning, started to show some weakness. It got bought back up slowly. And it's not as strong as it could have been on a day like this, especially after we have some very mixed pieces of news. We had some bad news that came out in the morning, which led to this thing kind of popping and dropping. Then we had some decent news after that. The bad news, by the way, was the fact that Mizuho and many analysts have downgraded Tesla, saying that Tesla's not as in a great position, EV demand is slowing, and etc. But we do have some good news, and that is the fact that CATL, which is very notorious for its battery production, basically it is working on potentially confirming that they're going to be working to supply battery machinery to the Tesla Giga Nevada. And as time has progressed, they're now starting to talk about how they could be working on Tesla's $25,000 car, the batteries, and also things for the robo-taxi. So that is awesome news. They're working on cost reduction mechanisms, and other things that they're aiming for is trying to get as much parts done with for the $25,000 vehicle. So that's going to be like the Model 2. And that's great news for them. So now that they're talking about that, that's incredible. They also talked about how they're going to be doing a $3.6 billion expansion at the Giga Nevada. It's going to add 4 million square feet for manufacturing space, and this is going to give CATL a lot of room to just kind of like mess around, learn about their robots, experiment, and learn, and finally supply Tesla with whatever's necessary during that time. So that's going to be very, very useful, and that's going to be very, very useful for the $25,000 vehicle that Tesla's working at. They're also going to be looking at potential starts that could be happening in the Giga Mexico. So that's great news as well. There's been some talk that CATL may provide with the necessary components for that, and then the 4680 production. So they're going to help with machinery, not to mention battery production. So that's another good piece of news. So if they end up helping Tesla in different ways, this could expand to other places like Mexico. And news about the robotaxi and Tesla Model 2 is just another great piece of news. The Model 2 is what we're referring to for the $25,000 EV. So that's a good piece of news for Tesla, at least for the long term. Tesla has pushed a little bit upon that coming out. Now it's coming back down. We're currently going to be looking at support at around 172. And then below that, we have our EMAs down here. That gives us more support right here around 171 flat, followed by 170. And if we lose that, we're going to be looking for a drop all the way down to 167.8, then 165. For resistance, watch 173.75. If we break this, watch 175. And through that, we have 177.6. Overall, Tesla could retrace just a little bit, but I think it's going to hold up a little bit better as the market is showing some life. Looking at SPY, on the other hand, this is holding up decently. We've been pushing on the 30 minutes time frame to about our 50 EMA, which happens to be at 520.88. We could reverse, come back down to about 520, then try to push back up. But overall, you guys can see that this thing has been doing a good job of trying to base, and buyers are trying to defend it. There's also a possible kind of like inverse head and shoulder structure. So from what I'm seeing, this thing sold off a bit, but now it's attempting to get back up to its resistance up here. And we're still respecting a potential flag. It's still possible for us to get a breakout if we do get past 522. This thing could turn very bullish, and we could easily break past the all-time high again for another run. So we're still in a bull flag-like setup, which is ultimately bullish. There's still potential for this to push higher, so we'll just have to see how it goes. But overall, guys, now that SPY has a bullish pattern, it could come down just a little bit here and there, but overall still try to push higher. I also mentioned to everyone that even if SPY were to fall down to this white trend line, back down to 518 or so, we could still be on a much bigger uptrend overall when you actually look at the pattern. We could still be on an uptrend even if we come down to 518 in the future. But I'm not saying it's going to happen right now. We're seeing a lot of defenders defending SPY. Could be looking for a 520 retest, even drop a little bit more from there. But we haven't necessarily lost our key support. We haven't broken the low of the day at 519.5. So SPY is going to likely remain in this range for the rest of the day. Could come down a bit and make its way back up. So watch for that for now. On the Q, excuse me, for the QQQ, it's the same thing. We came all the way up to 446. I told you if we broke past 445, right over here, 445.28, I talked about that level. If we broke this, watch for 446. We hit 446 to a T. Then we came back down towards 445.37. That's going to be our support right now at the 50 EMA. If we lose that, there's going to be a risk of this coming back down closer to like 444.5, and then we could rebound after that. But I am seeing a little slowdown on the QQQ, at least for the time being, just for a very temporary period of time. Zooming out of the chart, you could even kind of like draw this out as a flag that's forming, just like that of SPY. So we're starting to show some life on the QQQ. I'm seeing some potential in this simultaneously, but there's no confirmed breakout just yet. We just have to be a little patient before anything else. But I just want to say that so far, QQQ is holding up very well. We also have a potential flag forming if you want to go that route. It's also a possibility. So it could retrace a bit and eventually try to break out higher. That is a real possibility for later on for the week. So watch and see it drop just a bit more, and then we'll see if we get a rebound or not. Apple was looking kind of, we came all the way down towards the 169s, but now it's getting bought back up again. Overall, it's been in this range between 169 and 172. It might just remain in the range for the rest of the day, not really doing much. It's been shopping for the last like 2 hours. You guys can see back and forth price action. May just continue to do so as time progresses. For Nvidia, Nvidia is on a bit of an uptrend. We do have some tight resistance at this 965 area, but it's been holding up very, very well. Zooming out of this chart, you guys can see there's an accumulation structure right over here. And with this accumulation, we got a nice double bottom like pattern forming like a W, and it's trying to push up towards this resistance around the 970 area. So I think it could push even higher. I think that Nvidia may drop a little bit and push higher ultimately. I think that we're going to be watching support at 955. We could retrace a little bit closer to the 20 EMA at like 952 or so, then shop around a bit. But later on, I do see it pushing for 970, so this looks bullish, and this could help the QQQ in a very positive manner. Supermicro came down like we predicted, but then it gapped down, dropped a little bit. Then we got a big rebound off bullish news again. So now this is back to bullish, and this is helping. It's kind of moving with the market. We have an inverse head and shoulders like structure. Could go even higher towards 1100. So this is actually turning stronger. Looking at Meta, it's coming down a bit. We're also forming a flag on Meta. So if we're basically stuck between two EMAs. If we lose 502, look for a bigger drop to 500 or 498. If we break past 506.6, the 50 EMA, could be looking for a big push to 510 plus. We're stuck within this range right now, but I do believe Meta has some potential. So we'll see how it goes. For Amazon, like I said before, even though this thing did push a bit, be a little bit careful because we do love to get rejected off 180. So it might just continue to shuffle up here for now, but look and see if it comes back down towards like 178. That's where our uh, 50 EMA happens to be before it tries to like rebound again. So watch for that. But with that being said, guys, I think I went over the majority of tickers. As right now the market's trying to build a bit more strength. Tesla had some good news that came out, which is a good piece of news for once. It's been a while since we've gotten some good news for Tesla. And I'm hoping for the best. So let's see if Tesla can maintain this structure. Let's hope we keep getting decent pieces of news. Nothing too bad happens. We only have 3 trading days left for the week after today. So take care, guys. Do what you have to do. And I'll see you guys very soon on the next one. Thank you for listening and peace out.